Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? Oh, hi, Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea. Can you hear us? Not sure she can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So maybe she just has to get her mic on or something. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully, here, I'll type her a message. Make sure your mic is on. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone, and then after we're done, I'll unmute. Okay. All right. Here we go. Ready? Let's start off with some frequently used words. Ready? Many, some, so, these, would, other, into, has, more, her, to, like, him, see, time, could, no, make, there, can, an, your, which, there, said, if, do, will, each, about, how, up, out, them, then, she, were, when, we, but, what, all, one, had, not, have, or, by, this, from, I, they, at, be, the, of, and, a, to, in, is, you, that, it, he, for, was, on, are, as, with, his. All right, so some common phrases that we often hear, so you're going to phrase as much as possible. Here we go. Ready? Is that a fact? Matter of fact. As a matter of fact. Can feel. Can he feel? Can I feel? Could feel. Did he feel? Did I feel? Does he feel? Do I feel? Do you feel? He feels. I can't feel. I didn't feel. I don't feel. I feel. If he feels. If I feel. If you feel. It feels. May feel. Shall feel. She feels. Should feel. So he feels. So I feel. So you feel. That he feels. That I feel. That you feel. To feel. We feel. What he feels. What I feel. What you feel. What he feels. When I feel. When you feel. Where he feels. Where I feel. Where you feel. Whether he feels. Whether I feel. Whether or not he feels. Whether or not you feel. Whether you feel. Which he feels. Which I feel. Which you feel. Okay, my next drill is going to be a a drill. Okay, I'm going to give you the phrases before I give you the sentences. Here we go. Ham and eggs, a pig, an error, a case, an extra, black and blue, a box, and a tissue, red and white, a test, an infant, peaches and cream, a cap, an otter, rain and snow, an issue, a cart, an ending, height and weight, a desk, an alley, Jack and Jill, cats and dogs, an alibi, a pal, a tab, an altar, old and gray, a turn, an eagle, twist and turn, a pot, an onset, run and jump, a plan, an emblem, thick and thin, a scar, an outing, fits and starts, Dick and Jane, a man, an ulcer, a fin, an idiot, old and worn, a drum, an orphan, sixes and sevens, an oyster, loyal and true, a sign, tall and dark, an ideal, a gal, a sin, boy and girl, a book, an equity, cup and saucer, an Afghan, a sail, pen and paper, an agent, a job, hand and foot, a fake, an escape, knife and fork, coat and hat, an extra, a bag. And then here are the sentences. An inch turns into a mile. I've a dog and a cat. Use a knife and a fork. Eat an apple and an orange. Sit and read a book. Wear a coat and a tie. A bus and an auto crashed. Take a coat and hat. It's a day and a half. Use a pencil and paper. An annual picnic is a lark. Use a day and a half. Go and get a paper. Use an apple and an apricot. Tom and I ate an apple. Wear an overcoat and boots. It's a tan and blue color. Use an hour and a half. Okay. Now, I've got some these are just words, not sentences. We're going to start with consonant compounds KR, KL, SH, SL, GL, GR, PL, PR. Okay, here we go. Cry, clear, crow, clip, crab, clock, crime, clam, crude, clog, crane, club, crib, class, creep, clown, cream, clerk, cram, close, cross, clean, crowd, clap, shut, slow, shade, sleep, sheet, slug, shin, slab, shoe, slight, shack, sled, shed, slip, shave, sleet, ship, slum, shine, slope, share, slat, shock, slide, glow, grass, glue, grope, glide, grub, glee, grid, glob, greet, glass, grow, gloom, grace, glad, greed, glove, grin, glaze, gross, glen, grail, glade, green, plate, pray, plus, press, plight, prune, plug, price, plod, prove, plea, pride, play, probe, plow, prick, ply, prize, place, prim, ploy, prep, plush, prime. All right. Now, some initial consonants ST, and these are in sentences. Here we go. Ready? Stella stoked the fire with a stolen stoker. The sticky sticker stunk and stuck. Stone cutters get stoned while stoning stony stones. He stopped storing starch in the storehouse. Sterile stethoscopes are still in stock. The stooge liked stoogies and stock cars. Let me say that again. The stooge liked stogies and stock cars. I was stuffed after stumbling over a stump. The steamship had a shovel made of steel. He used starch in his shirt after stardom. The state stashed stable statistics. The stagecoach had a stage hand that was stage struck. A stake is a steal when stolen. Steeplejacks love a steeple chase and steeples. A stile does not stand still. Steve stood on the stand with a stiff stooge. All right. Names and addresses. Here we go. Ready? Ms. Laney Welch, WELCH, Sanborn Regional Middle School, Newton Junction, Georgia, 30909. Ms. Terry D. Rourke, ROURKE, Pleasant Street, Winthrop, Rhode Island, 02871. P.V. Griffin, Griffin, Director of Counseling, P.O. Box H26, Junction City, Arkansas, 71749. Carol J. Rosen, Rosen, 145, Sukama Drive, New York, 11367. Janine L. LaRoque, 69 Bossé Avenue, Manchester, New Hampshire, 03103. William F. Dagon, Dagon, Media Department, 110 Mineral Point High School, Mineral Point, Wisconsin, 53565. Sherry L. Hozek, Hozek, 3013 Concord Avenue, Mesquite, Texas, 75150. Deidre A. Fox, Fox, 210 Belvedere Road, New Hampton, New York, 12601. Penny B. Barker, Barker, 410 Look Avenue, Marion, Virginia, 24354. All right, let me just date this. Sometimes I try to date as I'm reading, and that usually helps me to screw myself up. All right, let's do some medical words. Okay, here we go. Symptom, hypodermic, analgesics, painful, aspiration, pelvis, metacarpal, sublingual, hernia, orthodontia, inflammation, vascular, cellulitis, arthritis, meninges, psychosomatic, temporal, ossicle, occiput, orifice, thyroid, nasal, sigmoid, fracture, obstetrician, tracheostomy. All right. How are we doing on time? 5:14. Good. We're doing good. All right. Now I've got just some regular Tangle Tamers. Here we go. Ready? Computer peripherals, significant tumor development, former amateur boxer, film production headquarters, unauthorized transaction, increasingly frenetic, scrawny and emaciated, national defense, fiscal integrity, 1/3 cooperation, greater opportunity, defense budget, military measures, primary cause, seldom publicized, fundamental things, distinguished audience, structural changes, trade barrier, vehicle identification, economic sector, goal students, 2x4, unnecessary drain, manpower costs, nation's resources, every instance, money bill, storm flag, emotional fires, phony bomb threats, contemporary accessories, delegates and dignitaries, behind police barricades, photo processing laboratory. All right. Now, I've got a preview list for you. You're going to hear some of these words in these retention sentences. So I'm going to give you the preview list first. All right, here we go. Administration, inflationary, aggravated, inhibited, alternative, initiating, amateur, insulate, appraisals, intentional, approximately, assessment, petroleum, palatial, predictable, bureaucracy, chronologically, predicted, prescription, collision, conserve, productive, convergence, projections, cumbersome, curtailments, prospective, recognizing, decontrol, regulatory, resolution, disastrous, disparities, reversions, entitlements, Saudi Arabia, similarities, subside, impact, eventually, implications, subsidized, transaction, transition, incentive, increasingly, ultimately, windfall, industrialized, inevitable, workmanlike. All right, so here are your retention sentences. The plaintiff contends that he is entitled to recover medical costs under the policy's provisions. The defendant contends that the alleged loss is excluded from coverage by various policy provisions. The current definition is devoid of any indication that the oral communication must be reinstated. A hearing was held on this motion before Honorable J.L. Dewey, the circuit judge. The party's conduct has been of an aggravated kind, reckless, willful, or wanton in nature. Such disparities in sentencing represent a major frustration to the prosecutors in the child abuse case. The 5th annual employee picnic was announced over the intercom system, again Thursday and Friday. The palatial estate was torn down because the district was recently rezoned for commercial use. The heads of all the departments and divisions will have a conference about 2018 spending. A minimum of $1 million was emphasized as being sufficient, thereby initiating immediate legislation. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get into some literary. Okay. I'm going to start off just with a paragraph on legal terms. Okay, and I'll start this one at 180 since we're just starting off. Okay, here we go. The plaintiff is represented by the prosecuting attorney. The prosecuting attorney conducts cases on behalf of the state or the people. The defense attorney represents the defendant. The judge, sometimes referred to as the court, administers the law in a court of justice. The seat that the judge occupies is referred to as the law in a court of justice. And the seat that the judge occupies is referred to as the bench. The science or the philosophy of the law is referred to as jurisprudence. A statute is a law. When a statute is violated, the case will be presented by the prosecutor and the defense attorney. The various code books contain federal and state laws. Federal is capitalized when it is used to refer to the central government of the United States of America. All right, so I'm just stating this. Okay. My next literary is going to be on taxation. Let me give you a word list. You're going to hear essential, deductions, establishment, comprehensive, entertainment, minimize, strategies, completeness, accumulating, IRS, audited, accuracy, retention, divided, segregate. All right, here we go. I'm going to read this at 200. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? Saving on taxes involves the detailed task of record keeping. An essential element of complete tax planning is to establish a good record keeping system. Your detailed records will help you to compute your income and deductions at the end of the year and to plan for the future. With receipts accumulating during the year, there is a tendency to overlook certain items. You must have a record to represent or present to the IRS if your return is audited. The establishment of a comprehensive record-keeping system will ensure completeness and accuracy, will also eliminate many problems at tax time. After you have collected your monthly checking account statements, segregate all the tax-related receipts, keeping 1 year's receipts separate from another. If your occupation involves travel, meals, or entertainment of clients, you should keep a daily computer log or journal of these expenses. If you own your own home or have other investments such as stocks and bonds, plan your investment strategies in order to minimize gains at tax time. If you use your home as your office, you may take deductions for business-related expenses. The retention of past tax returns is important in the event you are audited. Previous tax returns may be necessary if you plan to income average. All interest and dividend statements should be retained in case you are audited. Tax records should be kept for a minimum of 3 years. The IRS may go back as far as 3 years to question a return. All right. Let's move into jury charge. Actually, you know what? Let me just read a little bit from this OJ we've been working on. Okay. All right, we'll do just a little bit of this and then we'll go to jury charge. All right, here we go. I'll read this at 200. The phone rang again, the lower light, and I reached for it. Yeah, man, I said. I know you're here. I overslept and just got out of the shower. My bags are out in front. I hit the code and opened the front gate so he could drive through and get the bags and hung up and finished dressing. Then I hurried downstairs and went outside. The driver was still putting the bags into the trunk of the white limo. Hey, I said. Good evening, Mr. Simpson. We are set here? Yes, sir, he said. At that moment, Cato showed up looking spooked. Did you hear that? He said. What? I said. That banging noise, he said. A big thump out back near the fence. I didn't hear shit, I said. I was in the shower. It was a really loud fucking noise, OJ. It scared the hell out of me. Cato seemed to think that someone had been lurking around that part of the house, and he asked me to have a look. So I humored him. We went off in separate directions, and after about a minute, we reconvened near the front door. I didn't see anything, I said. You have a flashlight, he asked. Jesus, Cato, I'm trying to get out of here. I have a plane to catch. You go look for it and lock up when you're done. Cato went into the house still spooked, and I got into the limo and took off. I think the driver was nervous about being late or something, because he got confused at sunset and took the wrong entry ramp onto the 405 freeway. Once we were en route, I called Cato to tell him to make sure to set the alarm. I didn't get through to him, but I remembered having told him to lock up, and I hoped he was smart enough to set the alarm. Man, I told the driver, it feels like I spend my whole life racing to and from airports and getting on and off airplanes. I know what you mean, the driver said. When we got to the airport, I checked in at the curb, like I always do, and watched the sky cap tag the bags. A couple of fans came by for autographs, and I was happy to oblige. On my way to the gate, I signed a few more autographs, and when I boarded the plane, I shook hands with a couple more fans. One of them was curious about my ring. He thought it was my Super Bowl ring, but it was actually my Hall of Fame ring, and he took a closer look and admired it. I only mention this because there was supposed to be a cut on my ring finger, but it must have been a phantom cut. There was nothing but a ring there. I was asleep before the plane took off, and I slept most of the way to Chicago. A limo driver helped me get my bags, then took me to the O'Hare Plaza Hotel. It was quiet at that early hour, even at the airport, and the ride only lasted about 5 minutes. I got to my room exhausted and stripped and immediately fell asleep. But a short time later, I was awakened by the ringing phone. I picked it up. It was some cop in Los Angeles, either Philip Van Natter or Thomas Lang. I don't really remember. Calling to tell me that he had some bad news. Nicole has been killed, he said. Killed, I said, not sure I'd heard him correctly. What do you mean killed? Okay, so we'll stop there. All right, let's do some jury charge. This subject is an invitee. Okay, and I'm going to read this at at 200. All right, here we go. The first issue for your determination on the claim of the plaintiffs is whether, at the time and place of the incident complained of, the plaintiffs were invitees on the premises owned by or in the possession of the county. A person is an invitee on land or premises owned by or in the possession of another when he or she is invited or permitted to enter or remain there for a purpose directly or indirectly connected with the business of the owner or possessor, or connected with the businesses and dealings between the visitor and the owner or possessor, as distinguished from benefit or convenience merely to the visitor. Such a person remains an invitee as long as he or she uses the premises in the customary manner or in a manner which the owner or possessor of the premises might reasonably have expected, and at a place where the visitor was invited, or where he or she was permitted to be, or where he or she might reasonably have been expected by the owner or possessor. Okay, got one more jury charge for you. This next one is going to, let's see, the subject is reply to appeal for probation. Okay, again, I'll read this at 200. Here we go. In this case, your counsel has made a very excellent plea on your behalf. I know you are sincere, just as he was sincere when he presented your matter, and in asking for probation. I am also favorably impressed with the attitude of some of the complaining witnesses here and the presentation that the public defender has made. However, this is not the type of case that the court feels comes within the category of a probation case. You are a lawyer, and as such, an officer of the court. As an officer of the court, you hold a position of trust and confidence by virtue of licensing by the Supreme Court to practice your profession. You knew the difference between right and wrong, and apparently you did not have the will to follow the dictates of conscience and the law that the law gave you and resist that temptation. There were probably many times over the period of the last 10 or 12 years when you had occasion to reflect on what you were doing and on the trust and responsibilities with which you were vested. It is a fact that we do err, and it is a fact that man is tempted to commit offenses against himself and others, but not all of us repeat some of the offenses over so long a period of our lives, and to end of depriving other people of the right to their property. That you sought out your confessor, sought advice from him, and followed that advice to achieve peace with your God is something that all of us would be happy to be able to say. However, confessing your guilt to your God is only one aspect of it, and the court is still left with a duty to perform, a duty that the court is obligated to perform. The court is obligated to do all that we can that is fair and just to the people of the state of Illinois, and in justice to the complaining witnesses and to the defendant in this case. The court feels that obligation to society as well as to you. With respect to the offenses brought forth here, you have presented practically no defense. The court would like to accede to the request of your counsel and put you on probation. It might be that your frank confession and your efforts in cleaning up your offenses is your defense. However, you have an obligation to society as well as to yourself in this case. In indictment number 59, the sentence will be the Illinois State Prison for a term of not less than 1 year and not more than 10. In the indictment 59-292, the sentence will be the Illinois State Prison for a term of not less than 1 year and not more than 10, and to run concurrently with case number 291. In indictment number 59-293, the sentence will be the Illinois State Prison for a term not less than 1 year and not more than 10 years, which sentence will run concurrently with cases 291 and 292. In indictment number 59-294, the sentence will be the Illinois State Prison for a term of not less than 1 year and not more than 10 years, which sentence will run concurrently with cases number 291, 292, and 293. And indictment number 59-295, the sentence will be the Illinois State Prison for a term of not less than 1 year and not more than 10 years, which sentence will run concurrently with cases 291, 292, 293, and 294. Now, if the parole board sees evidence of your rehabilitation, you will undoubtedly have such consideration as the case permits. I do hope that they permit you to go out under supervision for a period. However, you will not forget what you said here today about trying to make restitution. That is the sentence of the court. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right. I'm going to start reading at 180, and then I'll move my way into 200 with this one. And then the next one that we do, we'll go to 225, okay? So we'll start off at 180 and work our way to 200. It's going to start out with the court, but defense will be questioning. But plaintiff does jump in as well, okay? Here we go. Please tell the court where you are employed at the present time. Pacific Oil Company, Central Heights Plant on Washington Boulevard in Long Beach, California. How long have you been employed at Pacific? 4 years and 8 months. What are your duties with Pacific Oil? I am a truck driver. How long have you been a truck driver with Pacific? The total time I have been with the company? Yes. Were you employed with the Pacific Oil Company as a truck driver on June 28 and July 1st of 2009? Is that a yes? Yes, sir. Directing your attention to July the 1st of 2009, did you have a specific route or delivery schedule that required you to make certain stops while driving your truck? No, sir. Did you make a delivery to a John R. Rogers on that particular date? Yes, sir. Do you recall where that was that you made your delivery? At the corner of Main and Harbor. What city is that in? That would be Lakewood, I believe. That's in the county of Los Angeles. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Approximately what time did you make your delivery to that location? Between 3 and 3:30. In the afternoon, I take it? Yes. And what did you deliver at that location? I delivered a full load of premium octane gasoline. Approximately how much was in the load that you delivered to the station? I metered exactly 7,700 gallons, which means you delivered 7,700 gallons to the station. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Would you tell us what happened when you arrived at the station as best you can recall? Well, I drove into the station, opened the tanks, proceeded to deposit the gasoline, and took the bill into Mr. Rogers for payment. What happened then? Nothing. I finished depositing the gasoline, the normal procedure, and collected the bill. I have nothing further, Your Honor. Go ahead, counsel. Thank you. What happened as far as the collecting is concerned? What were you paid? I was given the credit card invoices and the dealer's assistance and a receipt for the total amount of the bill. Mr. Harrison, I will show you People 16 for identification as previously marked and ask you to examine it carefully and tell me if you recognize that from any prior occasion. Yes, sir. Would you explain what People 16 is? This is referred to by Pacific Oil Company as a D1. It's an invoice on which the amount of gallons, the price of the gasoline, the total amount of the bill, and any other collections are listed. We have a column that we use when we make the collection on the bill that we enter the total amount on. The two totals should match. When did you first gain possession of the document, if you did? This document, I received it at the plant before I left with the gasoline. Did you have that yellow slip marked People 16 when you went to the gas station with John Rogers? Yes, sir. And did you sign that particular document in front of him? Yes, sir. What is the signature on there? The signature is my last name, Harrison. All right, go ahead. All right, is there any procedure that requires Mr. Rogers to sign that document? No, sir. What happened as far as what you did with that document on July 1st at Mr. Rogers' station? After the document was filled in, I gave him the top copy, and I returned this to my office manager. All right, let's switch transcripts. Okay, let me just date this. All right. Let's go to this dog bite that we've been working on. I'm going to move up to 200 now. And let's see, looks like defense question is questioning. So I'll read this one at 200. Did she bite you at any time? You stated before that there was a time period where you were afraid of Honey. Is that correct? Yes. Was this one incident where you were playing with Honey? Was that during that time you were afraid of her? No. Was that after? Yeah. How about with Max? Did Max ever bite you? No. Did you ever play with Max? Yeah. Okay, how about after the July 1st dog bite? Yeah. Was there a period of time that you didn't play with Max? Uh-huh. Is that yes or no? Yes. What period of time was that? When I had my cast on. Okay, was it difficult to play with Max with your cast on? Yeah. And then after that, did you play with Max? Yes. But how about with anybody else's dogs after this July 1st? No. You haven't played? I've never played with anybody else's dogs. Is there a reason why? Because I'm still afraid of dogs. Okay, what about before the accident? I wasn't afraid. Did you play with other people's dogs before? Yeah. Did you have any friends that had dogs? Yeah. And you played with their dogs? Yes. And do you remember the type of dogs they were? No. Do you know if they were big dogs or little dogs? Big dogs. Big dogs. Any of your friends now have dogs? No. Have you gone to anybody's home since this incident that has dogs? No. On the day that the dog bite occurred, you said you were in the driveway when you first saw the dogs? Uh-huh. I'm sorry. Is that a yes? Yes. What was the next thing after you first saw the dog that happened? I don't know. I can't remember. During that time when you first saw the dog and before climbing the fence, did you have your bat in your hand? Yeah. During that time, did you ever swing your bat? No. During that time, did you ever yell at the dog? No. Did you ever throw anything at the dog? No. How about your brothers? Did they throw anything at the dog? No. I think you said you had seen this dog before. Yes. How many times before? Once or twice. Is that just the dog that bit you? Well, uh-huh. What about the other dog, the one that you described? I never saw it before. And that was the one that was across the street? Yes, uh-huh. And what did you describe about that dog? It was a brown and white dog. Do you remember what parts of its body had the brown on it and what part had the white? No. Was it mostly white or mostly brown? Mostly brown. Do you remember where the white was? No. Did it have any other color on the dog? No, I think it had a little bit of black. Where was the black? Like black spots. Do you remember what part of the dog's body? No. Was it on the back of the dog? No, I don't know. How about the face? I don't know. Then how about the dog that bit you? You said it was light brown with dark brown spots? Yeah. Did it have any other color? Black on its face. Any other colors? And white by its tail. Was there any other white on the dog? No. Do you remember where the light brown was? The color of its skin. It was the color of its fur. and then it had brown or dark brown spots. So I understand this. Most of the dog then was a light brown color. Yeah. And that was the body of the dog. Yeah. And then it had dark brown spots. Yes. Do you remember how many? No. Do you remember where on the dog? No. Other than baseball, did you play any other sports? No. Nothing else at school like handball? No. How about tetherball? Tetherball, yeah. Okay, after this? No, not after, no. Okay, let me finish, okay? Let me finish the question and let you answer so we can have a clear record. Anytime after the accident, did you play tetherball? No. At school, do you play tetherball now? No. Is there a reason? They don't have it. What about what school do you go to? Abernathy. Okay, before you went to, the school that you went to in California, what was the name of that school? Mead Valley. When you went back to Mead Valley, did you play tetherball? Is that a yes or a no? Yes. Okay, that was in what, September? Yes. That was a few months after the dog bite? Yes. So you were able to play tetherball? Yes. How about any other activities? No. Was there anything else like jump rope or hopscotch? No. What other? I'll refrain from any. We can go off the record. Let's go back on the record. You said that after the dog bite, you had some bad dreams? Is that a yes? Yes. Do you remember any of those dreams? No. Were they all involving a dog? Yes. Did you have any other bad dreams that didn't involve dogs? No. And before the dog bite happened, did you have any? No. Before the dog bite happened, did you have any bad dreams? No. So this was like the first time you had bad dreams? Yes. What would you do when you would have those bad dreams? I don't know. I can't remember. Would you wake up? Yeah. Would you get out of bed and go to your mom? No, I'd get out of bed and I would just walk around. Can you remember what you saw in the dream or no? Something bad? No. You'd walk around where? In your room? Yes. Were your dogs ever in your room? No. Where did you normally keep your dogs? Outside in the yard. Did they ever go inside the house? No. Did you ever tell your mom about those dreams? No. Yeah. On the night that they happened or like the next day? So you never went to her when you had a bad dream? No. I'm sorry. Was that a yes or a no? Yeah. Yes, that's a no? Yes. I'll ask the question again. Did you ever go to your mom at night when you had bad dreams? No. How about your stepdad? No. Did you ever wake up your brothers? No. You said you would walk around? Yeah, yes. What would you do after you walked around? Go back to bed? Did you have any trouble falling back to sleep? No. So how long would you be awake after those bad dreams? About 15 minutes. Do you remember how many you had? No. Can you give us an estimate? If it was like 5 or 20, about 10. When was the first one? The next night. Do you remember when the last one was? No, I can't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. Was it within the same month? Yeah. All right, so let's switch transcripts again because I know that's a little, I was reading that at 225. I picked it up to 225, but I know that's a little bit easier. I know there's colloquy, so that helps to make it a little harder, but all right. Okay, so this is a court case. So this will definitely have more colloquy in it. Okay, let me see here. All right, we're going to start with the court. Here we go. And I'll start at 200 and work my way to 225, okay? All right, here we go. Come to order. Court is now in session. Call the case of People of the State of California versus Damian Wayne Aztec and Jeannie Ramirez. Macy Brunn appearing on behalf of the people. Richard Schultz for Jeannie Ramirez, who is present before the court in custody, and for Mr. Aztec, who is present in custody. All right, this case is sent here for preliminary hearing, as I have been known to ask. Has it been fully discussed so that no one thinks there's going to be the possibility of resolving this case right now before we get started? I'm always open to negotiate, but so are we. My client maintains that she's factually innocent. All right, well, guess what we'll do is put on a preliminary hearing. Call your first witness. Okay, thank you, Your Honor, but I wanted to let the court know prior to starting that I will not be proceeding on any of the gang enhancements or on count 5 today. Okay, the people call Juan Gomez. If I could inquire of counsel, I have not heard that. That was relayed to us before. Does that change your offers, counsel, in any way? Not to the actual incident. Okay, well, I don't know that what we had, that there was any kind of communication at all. Is there a new offer you wanted to convey, Ms. Brunn? Well, I previously conveyed an offer that did not include any of those allegations. I'm not sure. I would want to make a different offer at this time unless I'm always willing to entertain a counter offer, but how about that, Mr. Schultz? She's saying that she's made an offer and she's willing to entertain a counter offer. I'll ask my client if she wishes to make a counter offer. She's not going to proceed on count 5, and she's not going to proceed on the allegation that the crime was committed for the benefit of, at the direction of, or in association with a criminal street gang. I'm sure it's not her intention to. So there is still an allegation of 1, 2, 3, 4 prior prison terms on Mr. Aztec. I'm sure she's not intending to strike those. It doesn't appear we'll have a meeting of the minds, Your Honor. And I never am up for a meeting of the minds. I look for a deal. The people hold their nose and accept. What is your client's counter offer? Her counter offer is she has no prior record. She would take the receiving and grant of probation and 1 year in the county jail. And that was ejected by Ms. Brunn. Yes, my offer had been count 1 as a robbery in concert for 6 years. What is the exposure here, counsel? Well, without the gang enhancements, it's over 10 years. I'd have to look at count 3 because with the gang enhancements, it was 7 to life. So I'd have to look at it again up close to see. Okay, so on Ms. Ramirez, what is first degree burglary? 2, 4, 6. I know that, I'm sorry. What is first degree residential burglary? Is this still 2, 4, 6? Yes, 3, 4, 6. Residential robbery is 3, 4, 6. Correct. Would you take the mitigated term on Ms. Ramirez for 3 years forthwith? What's the offer for Ms. or Mr. Aztec? That is 8 years. As far as Mr. Aztec, I have no idea what the facts are on this case. That is a 5-year prison term. That's 5 years right there. So yes, I can't say that it is a bad deal if the facts are there, but I have no idea about the facts of the case. You want 3 years, Mr. Schultz? That's at 85%. 85%? 3 years? Yes, that's the mitigated term. I thought you said mitigated term 4 years. I'm not telling you what to do. I think she's never been to prison before. She'll be doing 85% of it. That's pretty big for the first ride, and it's a strike. She's not willing to plead a residential robbery, Your Honor. That's fine as long as she understands that I think I sort of finessed Ms. Brunn into, I don't know why but after how many years it's been, I still have trouble with Brunn, but I have her down to, I think I sort of got her down to 3 years, and I didn't even hear her say she might do it. I felt she might have, but as long as your client knows she shouldn't expect there's going to be, after the holding order, any basis saying, okay, I want 3 years if I hold her to answer. When she comes back, she's probably not going to see that. It's gone from 6 to 3. So, of course, unless the people's case gets worse with a little bit more passage of time. We never know. We won't count on her putting that back on the table unless circumstances change. Absolutely. The problem is circumstances sometimes change for the worse for your client. And I just don't know if this is a realistic assessment on her part or not, based on the fact that there's a live witness on the stand and it's not a Prop 115 preliminary hearing. But you know what? Denial is just a river in Egypt. Thank you. And don't get us wrong. I appreciate the court's effort with regard to seeing if we can settle the matter. So I appreciate that, Your Honor. It's not in my court. That's why I feel free to speak about it. It's going to be It's going to go to Judge Flowers. So, all right, offer rejected, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. And it's a package deal. So, Mr. Aztec, correct, is stuck. I'm confident that we will be able to work something out, if not for the fact that it is a package. All right. So, did we swear in the witness? No, not yet. Please face the clerk and raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly state that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. Please state your name and spell it for the record. Juan Gomez, Juangomez. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Gomez. How are you doing? Good, thank you. Your witness. Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez, do you know Jeannie Ramirez? Yes, I do. Do you see her in court today? No. You do not? Oh, no, I do not. I didn't see her at... All right, can you look around the courtroom and tell me if you see her in court today? Yes, I do. Okay, and could you please describe what she is wearing today and where in the courtroom she's sitting? She's right on the right-hand side at the end of the table. She's not wearing makeup, and she has something on her lips. I think it's black eyeliner. Could you describe the clothing that she's wearing? Orange jumpsuit. Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant, Jeannie Ramirez. Yes. Mr. Gomez, how is it that you know Ms. Ramirez? I met her by Jose Santana. He's not here today. She was trying to fix her car. Me and Jose we went to her house. That's how I met her, by him. Is Jose Santana a friend of yours? Yes. Did he introduce Jeannie Ramirez to you? No, it was just like a face-to-face thing, like we just started talking like friends. You and Ms. Ramirez? Yeah. Okay, approximately how long ago was that? I think it was last year, or honestly, I don't remember exactly what month it was. Was it sometime in 2011? Yeah. Yes? Yeah. At some point, did Ms. Ramirez loan you money? Yes. When did that occur? It was in December. No, I think it was around like November when they loaned me the money. November of 2011? Yeah. Is that a yes? Yes. How much did Ms. Ramirez loan you? $83. And at the time Ms. Ramirez loaned you the money, did you have an agreement with her to pay it back? I told her I was going to pay her back, but I didn't tell her when. I'm sorry, I didn't understand his answer. I told her, yeah, that I was going to pay her back, but I didn't tell her exactly when I was going to pay her back. So you agreed to pay her back, but you didn't know when you would be able to pay her back? Yeah. Is that a yes? Yes. Did you see Ms. Ramirez at any time after you borrowed the money from her? No, actually, I think I did. Yeah, because I was helping her to get her stuff out of where she used to have her house. I was helping her move her stuff. So then because I had one of her stereos with the speakers and everything, and I forgot to take those to her house. So I went straight into my house and I forgot. And then after that, then she texted me, sending me a text telling me that you should say goodbye to your parents or something like that. So at the point after you borrowed the money from her, is it your testimony that you helped her move? Pretty much. I was helping her, yeah. With regard to the stereo and the speakers that you put in your car, what happened to those items? When I had them at the house for a while, and from there I didn't see her. So at that time I had the car then, so I didn't have a car, no way to take them to her. Okay, and were you living on Connor Road in the city of Escondido at that time? Yes. Is that located within San Diego County? Yes. At some point in November of 2011, did Ms. Ramirez come to your house? Actually, it was in December. That's when everything happened. Okay, do you recall the date specifically? I think it was December the 2nd when that happened. And when you say when it happened, are you talking about an incident when Ms. Ramirez came to your house? Yes. Okay, who were you living with at that house? That is my aunt's house. Did anyone there live there besides you and your aunt? No, it was only me. Prior to Ms. Ramirez coming to your house on or about December 2nd of 2011, what were you doing at your house prior to her arrival? Objection, Your Honor, that is vague as to time. Sustained. Mr. Gomez, on the day that Ms. Ramirez came to your house, yeah, for the 15 minutes before Ms. Ramirez came, what were you doing? I was playing the PS2, and Jose and his cousin were there, so we were just talking about it, we were just chilling pretty much. When you say Jose, that's Jose Santana? Yeah. Is that a yes? Yes. Approximately what time of the day was it? It was at night. Do you know what time? I think it was around 7, I think. I'm not really sure about the time. Was there anyone else in the house besides you, Jose Santana, and Jose's friend? No, it was only us 3. So your aunt was not home? No, she lives down the hill. Okay, so then what happened? So then that guy, some guy, I don't know, that's the thing, that it was like seconds. That's when it happened. One of them came in and Jose Santana was swinging at one and he said, "Where is Juan?" And he said he was swinging at him. I said, "What the fuck?" And that's when he saw me. We went head to head, you know, and I tried to pick him up. And wait, stop right there. When you say he, when you said that's when he saw you, who are you talking about? That's the thing. I don't know if it was him or someone else, because at the time when, I don't know, it's different. I mean, it's that part. I get lost on that part. I didn't hear what you said. I get lost where the guy came in. So a male person came into your house? Yeah. How did that male person get into your house? Jose Santana had left the door open and unlocked. Was the door open or unlocked? It was closed but not locked. And then what happened? The male came in and that's when I saw him. He said, "Where is Juan?" And Jose said, "I don't know." What the fuck? I think he swung and then he saw me. That's when we went head to head to try to pick him up. Got me in a headlock. And from there, that's it. I don't know what happened from there. All right, so we'll do like 1 page of read back. That, just so you guys know, that was at 225. Okay, and if you don't want to read back, you don't have to. So what I do, usually I'll read one time, do the read back once at 225. I'll do it again at 200 and again at 180. So you can choose what one you want to read back. And if you don't want to read back, you don't have to. Okay, so let me give you a word list. You're going to hear Philip Sutherland, husband, approximately, at the time. Do you see? Son-in-law, which I read that as S-O-N-L. Do you know? Did you see? How old? That's about it. It's pretty basic. Okay, so let me just date this. All right. Plaintiff's going to be questioning, and it's strictly plaintiff and Q&A. All right. So the first time I'll read it out 225, second time at 200, third time at 180. Okay. All right, here we go. What was his name? Philip Sutherland. How old a man was he? He was 47, I think. Did you see your husband on the evening of November 21? Yes, I did. And was that at your home? Yes. About what time of the evening was it when you first saw your husband? Approximately 5:30 or 6. Was there anyone else at home with you at the time that you first saw your husband? Yes. Who else was there? My children. How many would that be? 2. 2 children? Yes. Now I call your attention to the defendant, Richard Thomas, who is seated here at the far end of the counsel table. Do you see him over there? Yes. Do you know him? Yes. In what way do you know him? He is my son-in-law. Was the defendant at your home that evening? Yes. About what time did you first see him? I saw him for the first time the early part of the evening before I saw Mr. Sutherland. Did you see the 2 of them there at your home together? Yes. What time was that? Approximately 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Okay, so that was at 225. So now I'm going to read it at 200. Okay, here we go. What was his name? Philip Sutherland. How old a man was he? He was 47, I think. Did you see your husband on the evening of November 21? Yes, I did. And was that at your home? Yes. About what time of the evening was it when you first saw your husband? Approximately 5:30 or 6. Was there anyone else at home with you at the time that you first saw your husband? Yes. Who else was there? My children. How many would that be? 2. 2 children? Yes. Now I call your attention to the defendant, Richard Thomas, who is seated here at the far end of the counsel table. Do you see him over there? Yes. Do you know him? Yes. In what way do you know him? He is my son-in-law. Was the defendant at your home that evening? Yes. About what time did you first see him? I saw him for the first time the early part of the evening before I saw Mr. Sutherland. Did you see the two of them there at your home together? Yes. What time was that? Approximately 5:30 or 6 o'clock. All right, so now one last time at 180. Here we go. What was his name? Philip Sutherland. How old a man was he? He was 47, I think. Did you see your husband on the evening of November 21? Yes, I did. And was that at your home? Yes. About what time of the evening was it when you first saw your husband? Approximately 5:30 or 6. Was there anyone else at home with you at the time that you first saw your husband? Yes. Who else was there? My children. How many would that be? 2. 2 children? Yes. Now I call your attention to the defendant, Richard Thomas, who is seated here at the far end of the counsel table. Do you see him over there? Yes. Do you know him? Yes. In what way do you know him? He is my son-in-law. Was the defendant at your home that evening? Yes. About what time did you first see him? I saw him for the first time the early part of the evening before I saw Mr. Sutherland. Did you see the two of them there at your home together? Yes. What time was that? Approximately 5:30 or 6 o'clock. All right, so I will unmute everyone. And, if you don't want to read back, you don't have to. So it's totally up to you. And I'm trying to see in this little screen here, is this Chelsea Proto?
Yeah.
Yay, Chelsea Proto.
I miss you.
Hi, I miss you too. The box is so small, I can enlarge it if I wanted to. But I'm like, I think that's Chelsea.
I saw that you were having a live class and today sucked so bad. I thought I would come and give it a push.
Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here.
I know, you're killing it. You're adorable.
Oh, no. I'm so glad to have you. Well, Catherine and Nora, this is Chelsea, and she was a SAGE student. She was an on-ground student, and she is attending South Coast. So she's commuting, and Nora lives in Lake Arrowhead, and Catherine lives in Tennessee.
Oh my gosh.
And Catherine just passed her jury charge from the RPR.
How exciting.
I know.
That's so cool.
Yes. So, all right. So we can do let's go ahead and do our read back. I'll do the first one if you guys want. We can just go Catherine, Chelsea, Nora, and then each do a Q&A. Okay. All right. So question, what was his name? Answer, Philip Sutherland.
Question, how old a man was he? Answer, he was 47, I think.
Awesome.
Question, did you see your husband on the evening of November 21? Answer, yes, I did.
Awesome.
Question, and was that at your home? Answer, yes.
Great. Question, about what time of the evening was it when you first saw your husband? Answer, approximately 5:30 or 6.
Question, was there anyone home with you at the time that you first saw your husband? Answer, yes.
Good. Now, do you have else? Was there anyone else? And maybe I didn't say it.
I have else.
You have else? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I dropped the else.
Okay.
I guess.
No worries.
Question, who else was there? Answer, my children.
Perfect.
Question, how many would that be? Answer, 2.
Awesome. Question, 2 children? Answer, yes.
Question, now I call your attention to the defendant, Richard Thomas, who is seated here at the far end of counsel wait, far end of the council table. Do you see him over there? Answer yes.
Awesome.
Question, do you know him? Answer yes.
Question, in what way do you know him? Answer, he is my son-in-law.
Awesome. Question, was the defendant at your home that evening? Answer yes.
Question, what time did you first see him? Answer, I saw him for the first time I have of the, but I don't know if that makes sense. Is it in the early part?
Just the.
Or the, oh, just the, okay.
Yeah.
I saw him for the first time, the early part of the evening before I saw Mr. Sutherland.
Awesome. And now that question, do you have about what time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good job.
Question, did you see the two of them together at your, oh wait, did you see the two of them at your home together, there at your home together?
Awesome.
Answer yes.
Perfect.
Is it just yes?
Yep. It's just
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Question, what time was that? Answer, I have approximately 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Do you guys have or?
I didn't write down or.
That's okay.
Yeah, I have or.
You have or. Okay. Okay. All right. Great job, you guys. Great job. So Chelsea, how did you think, what do you think about it? Like, how is the speed?
Well, I nailed the 225, so it makes me feel even worse about going to school every day. And I can't pass that stupid 200. It was good. It was way better than school.
Well, just keep coming in here when you can just to get extra practice. And
Sure.
just try to stay. It was cool today because I was talking to Catherine and she was saying how she finally just said, okay, I'm going to be positive. And she said, since then, how long has it been, Catherine, that you said the things have just changed?
Like since the new year, just, yeah, the beginning of the year. I posted about it on Facebook in the encouraging court reporting students, if anyone's in that, just that I've been journaling and trying to eliminate my negative thoughts, and just they creep in all the time. Just even before class, I was sitting down what if I have a bad night? Why is that even entering my head,
Yeah.
So I'm just super aware of those thoughts, and I swear I was having trouble with the lits that you've been doing in this class, even the OJ stuff. I was having trouble with it, and now I'm getting every single word, no problem. I'm feeling pretty comfortable at 225, and I feel pretty close to wanting to attempt the test. I don't know. It's made such a difference.
That is so cool. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know. What were you saying, Catherine, about your journaling today? You were saying if you have, you'll write what you're thinking if it's negative, but then you cross it out and change it to positive.
Underneath it, I'll put the opposite of the thought. Instead of saying, what if I can't do it, tonight, I would just underneath that write, I can do it, or, one of the ones that is as far as testing, oh, what, I'm afraid that my hands are gonna fail on me during a test. And instead of that, I write down, I'm not afraid because I am in control of my body. I'm in control of my hands. They are not in control of me. Just little things that help me out, and it's really been making a huge difference.
That's awesome.
I think it's the difference of getting over that final hump. I know a lot of reporters have said they've done different things like that, you know, like meditation and even hypnosis and stuff like that to get over that final hump. So I don't know. It's been working for me, and I would recommend at least trying it. Just can't hurt, you know.
Yeah, because I think that the closer we get to the end, the more anxious we tend to be because we know how close we are. And it's like you were saying, Chelsea, that one last test, you know, it's like, ugh, you know, and it's because you just want it so bad. And, you know, it's just, you know, anxiety and, you know, I'm sure just nerves.
Yeah.
So
The last couple of days have been like exceptionally bad, and it seems like everybody at school is feeling it. But I mean, everybody's so negative there. So maybe starting some kind of positive streak will help, because I mean, everybody hates their life there. It's so bad.
yeah.
I promise you, you will see a difference. I wish I could just go out there and say, I guarantee it, you know, like money back guarantee, because you get in your own head and it affects the way you write, you know? So like, if you just let it all go and get those negative thoughts out, you know, it makes room for what you have to do when you sit down at your machine. So
For sure.
yeah, it's really made a difference. And it's like, not that I have like super negative thoughts. They're just tiny little seeds of thoughts that get in there and can ruin it for you. Like just what if, and oh, if only this, you know, and you know, it doesn't help. So
Yeah.
that's my spiel.
It's good advice. I'll let you know how it works.
Yes. Yeah. Try that, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I know too. I remember wanting to get out of qualifying. And I remember, I think it was Balin had said, sometimes when you have to think about your nerves play a part in it. So you almost have to sometimes be writing faster than that to make up for the nerves, you know? So then I was like, okay, I'm going to get 225, because then if I'm writing 225, then if I get nervous, then I'm going to get a 200 qualifier, you know? So she just always said that whatever speed you're trying to get, you want to write beyond that so that you can make up for the nerves if you have a hard time with the nerves. And then another thing I used to think of too, I used to listen to people like, you know, going through school, I would look at other people and go, oh, well, they've been in this for a long time. And I was so bad about that, because I remember thinking, oh, well, I just got out of this speed and I wasn't in there as long as them. So something, I don't know, it was like I doubted myself. And then, you know, I would talk to my instructors and they would say, look, don't compare yourself to other people, because if you're practicing hours every day and they're not, you're going to move quicker than they are because you're putting in the time. So, you know, I don't know. After I had my daughter, when I was halfway through school, and but still in the lower speeds. Like I think when I came back, I was in 120, and I was like just kind of moving along at a okay pace. And then I kicked it in high gear, and I remember everybody asking me, what are you doing? Why are you moving through speed so quickly? And it was just my mindset. It was like, no, I'm not going to stay here for, you know, I got to get out of here and make money. So I don't know. It was like that determination, and I just stopped comparing myself to all these other people. And, oh, I was in theory with her and she's back there, so I must, you know, I probably need to wait. It was like, no, I need to get out of school. So just get that fierce, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's like I'm so competitive, and I just tried to find it within me to, you know, to get done and not, you know, not think about anybody else. So
Your mind is so powerful.
Isn't it? That it is the truth.
Like, it's like I have to keep learning this over and over again in life, but it's like when you see it happen, it blows my mind, like just how powerful it is. Like literally, I mean, in a matter of weeks, you will see major changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
Yep.
I think.
Nothing's
Especially-
helping so far, so I got to change it.
And also, Chelsea, if you hang out with people that you find that are very negative, just don't. Because I did that too at school. I just stopped after I had Brooklyn and I had to come back. I remember thinking I can't hang out with those girls because it would like bring me down, you know. So
Yeah.
I kind of just stopped hanging out with anybody, and I went to school, and then it was like I was there for a reason, and then I would leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Today I met a new girl because I thought, oh, she's quiet and she's really calm on her machine, because a lot of people at South Coast are super hyper because they stroke everything out. They don't breathe. So they're like doing this and you're like, holy shit, you're going to like, your fingers are going to catch on fire. You're just working so extra at life. So I sat next to this chick today and I struck up a little conversation with her, and I said, God, you're so incredibly calm and collected, and I really love that. And you know what she says to me? Oh yeah, I smoke a lot of pot. I'm like, well, that's out, so I don't know what we're gonna do. I was like, I can't do that.
No.
Sleeping in class, everybody would know. She's like, yeah, it really helped me pass my qualifier. And I'm like, well, shoot, not gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's like Bob Sullivan when he came to stage and he was talking about the tests, and he goes, yeah, I just tell students to go take a shot before the test. I'm like,
That's what he told us when he
is that what he told you guys? Yes.
Oh yeah, he's like, calm your nerves, tequila, vodka, whatever works for you. I'm like, oh my gosh. No way.
No. Yeah, that
But
does
I'm
not
telling
work
you,
for everyone, dude.
those girls at that school, they're crazy. They all share anti-anxiety medication. They share Xanax. They share pot. And I'm like, oh my, I can't do this. Like, thank God I haven't been there 10 years, but it's like, you guys are insane. Like buying Adderall off each other. I'm like, no.
Wow.
Because what do you do in the real world?
Yeah, exactly.
Asking the criminals, hey, what you got? Like,
Yeah.
no. It doesn't work.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh,
I'll
well,
have to try the thinking
yes.
part. I'll start implementing the positivity, which is my biggest challenge in life in general. I'm really good at being negative, so I'm gonna try that.
Yep. Be positive and just pump yourself up and, encourage yourself.
Yep. Nobody else is gonna do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then you can tell everyone that you're just high on life.
There you
don't
go.
need
I don't need your drugs. Thanks. I got my own and it's free.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for attending live. It was so nice to get to talk to everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, and have a good night.
Is this every Wednesday? Sorry.
Yeah, every Wednesday night, and then the other high speeds class live is on Friday mornings from 9 to 10. But I know you do hair.
Yeah.
On Friday.
Yeah. So from Friday 9 to 10 in the morning.
Yep.
Well, if I have a late day, then I will. I'll come and hang out.
Yes, please do. And then Wednesday nights from 5 to 6.
Yeah, I could do that for sure.
So yeah, and then Robert always posts these. So if you can't make it, or if you want to, you can come in late if you have to, but
Okay.
or leave early if you have to. But he always posts these classes. So
Oh, perfect. Well,
yeah.
I definitely need to start using it more.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And Chelsea's she does hair, so she does my hair. So I gotta call and make an appointment.
Time for some highlights.
Yes, and a trim.
Yeah.
Yes. So, all right, you guys. Well, have a great night.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Nora.